Okay, first off, just like to congratulate John Franklin and Jason Smith graduating today. Very big deal for them. Jason's a guy that went to junior college, and he made it here and he graduated. Of course, John Franklin was at another school, went to junior college, and he graduated today. So I know their teammates were real excited, as well as their coaches were for them today. I think it's a pretty solid day of practice today. Really focused on red zone. Yesterday was more of a third down day, and today was red zone. Of course, we were getting prepared for a Monday scrimmage. Just felt like we had to have those two things in before we have a good scrimmage. Planning on quite a few plays. We're going to get a chance to let everybody show what they can do adequately, and then we'll do some special teams too. Tomorrow's an off day. Give you guys a chance to go to church and be off and all that. So feel good about today, and really excited and looking forward to the scrimmage. Questions?
What was T.D. Moultrie's issue today?
He just got a little dinged up. We expect him back. Nothing serious.
What was just the first assessment of full pads today, Gus, just in particular the quarterbacks? Just what have you seen over the course of the week, but specifically today?
Yeah, I think they've all had a solid first week. We've thrown the ball quite a bit. We've thrown the ball probably even more in individual too, and I think all their arms are holding up good. Good competition. And I think all three. I think right now probably the best way to put it is, all three. I feel like can run our offense, and even Malik has a good understanding of just the core base offense, which for a true freshman that's really good. So that's probably just kind of confirming what I said in media days, that we have quality depth at quarterback. So I think that's probably the best way to put it, just after the practice that we've had.
Gus, is there an issue with Andrew Williams, or
he got a little dinged up, but like I said, fall camp, that's part of it. Nothing serious and all that. So
Just obviously full pads, line of scrimmage then becomes a little bit different. What did you see out of those guys up front today?
Tell you what, there's been some good competition. I mean, there's a great competition. Matter of fact, the guys are getting after it up front, the defensive and offensive front, and just trying to get better. And there's good competition on both sides too. And like I said the other day, competition brings out the best in everybody. I mean, and of course we're staying up and all that, but Monday, that's when we'll really be able to evaluate, at the highest level, all positions once we get out the stadium. That's just kind of what I just told them. That, hey, from a coach's standpoint, we go in that stadium and it's a scrimmage. It means more. And just told them to rest up their body and prepare, especially the young guys. Just challenging the young guys to understand that, the young guys that really want to have a chance to help, in scrimmages, we put them up a little bit of a notch, from practice. So we just challenge those guys.
4 years ago, you said you knew after the first scrimmage that Nick Marshall was your guy. Is it possible that after this first scrimmage you know who your quarterback is?
Well, I think it was more of the first time we went live. It took a series to figure out that, he needed to be the quarterback. It's different. We have more information, like I said the other day, about those guys. So, scrimmage is going to mean something. There's no doubt they're important. And just like I said, they're important to every position. But I'm not ready to say, anything as far as making decisions after the first scrimmage.
Gus, a lot of offensive linemen mentioned. One of the guys that didn't get a lot of talk was Malik Harrell, and he's a guy that's been mixing in with that first group. What have you seen out of him from the spring to now, and I guess what's he doing well?
Well, first thing I'll say about him, it's important to him. It's important to him. I think he's lost close to 10 pounds. Just trying to give his best chance of playing. He's been in the mix, and he's competing. He's one of those guys competing for a spot. And, it's important to him, and he's got a good skill set.
Who else have you seen at left guard besides him thus far?
Well, I think Coach Hand's rotated quite a few guys. I know Mike Horton got some reps at left guard. Caleb Kim's got some reps at left guard too. So, there's been a lot of mix and matching, probably more mix and matching this fall camp for the first week than any of the three previous. But it also says something a little bit about our depth, I think. And so what we'll need to do is, after that second scrimmage, I mean, we got to really start putting the pieces of the puzzle, because I made a point before how important it is in our offense that the guys get used to playing beside each other and the communication, everything that goes with it.
Having basically an extra week of practice, does that allow you to do a little bit more of those things than even you might normally do?
You know, of course, you got off days now, and then we have kind of an off day even built in that, you know, walkthroughs and stuff like that. So, you know, I like our plan, and yeah, we can do a little bit more, I feel like, but, you know, taking care of their bodies is probably the biggest difference in the past.
When you evaluate your first full pads practice, do you spend a little extra time and see how the new guys do the first time?
There's no doubt. I mean, we learn more about the young guys the first day in full pads. Like I said, we'll learn twice as much in the scrimmage. Just trying to get those guys ready, especially guys that are talented enough to help. You know, our job as coaches to get them prepared mentally to know what they're up against.
Coach, any freshmen really caught your eye so far?
Get me to after the first scrimmage. If you get me after the first scrimmage, I can probably be a little more specific. I mean, there's been certain plays that you say, okay, wow, that's a good play, and then the next play they forget the play. I mean, that's part of being a freshman, you know. But get me to the scrimmage, and I'll probably be more specific.
What do you think of your punter so far and the walk-on Aiden Marshall?
I'll say this: nobody's separated themselves yet, and you know, we'll do some live, you know, punt return in the stadium on Monday. That'll be very important, but no one's separated themselves yet.
Is that concerning, you know, at this point? I mean,
It's concerning that we don't have a starter at this point, no doubt. That's concerning. I do feel like we've got some solid options. And like I said before, I mean, Daniel Carlson can do it. I mean, he did as a freshman. Is it ideal? Is it best for our team? It would be best for our team if one of those other guys would step up. But Daniel has done it, and if he has to do it, he'll do it, and he'll do a good job. But that's a good competition.
Are you confident that whoever the starter will be, Gus, is here, that you wouldn't pursue a graduate transfer or something if this happens?
The guys are here. The guys we're planning on doing it.
Is that something you think might be a game by week type of?
Oh, I hope not.
Okay.
I mean, that wouldn't be good. I mean, we need somebody to step up and get it done. You know, and that's our plan, and you know, at this point, I think we'll be able to do that.
You know, that's Darius Slayton's guy that looks like he's gotten bigger and more physical.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen out of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, we you know, I know Cody's really challenged him. He's got a very high skill set. You know, he's one of the older guys on the group. He's very competitive. I mean, he's gotten better. I mean, there's no doubt he's gotten better from the spring, but we expected him to. You know, and I've said this, our receiver group, we've challenged them to take the next step as a group. I mean, they're a very talented group. They're young, but they all got experience last year. So he's in that mix, and I can tell they're better, but we still got to keep going. And he's one of those guys that has a chance to be a good player.
I would say like offensive line, you know, wide receiver, you can rotate guys in and out, but how important is it to find a group of 3 or 4 that separates themselves?
It's one of the most important things, the integrity and the communication and everything that goes up front, working beside the guy. That's very important.
Guys, you spoke of John graduating today and whatnot. Can you speak to just the fact that he's still here, the fact that he stuck with the program when obviously his intent to be a quarterback at this level was readily apparent? You said even after the Iron Bowl that we'd see more of him, and the Sugar Bowl didn't go his way with the pinch nerve and whatnot. So just can you speak to his decision to stay here and that he's going to stick by being a receiver?
Well, you know, I tell you what, you know, when I got him up before the team today and was talking about him, that's one of the things that I hit. You know, he's been through some ups and downs, but he hung in there, and it says a lot about him. He's one of our leaders. He's trying to do everything he can to help the team. You know, not just receiver, but special teams and those things. So I'm real proud of John.
Does he have a pretty good chance to return kickoffs this year?
He's got a chance. I mean, he's in the mix, but you know, these scrimmages will be very critical. You know, to seeing not only what he can do, but the other guys can do.
How is in this over the last several months, just the evaluation of, like, say, the pinch nerd and the Sugar Bowl that came up, you'd said at the time it'd be something to be evaluated. Has that propped up at all? Because obviously the receiver, you want to.
Yeah, no, it was a cramp, I think, and cramped up his forearm, and like I said, I don't think that'll be as big a factor playing receiver. When it's your right arm and you're trying to grip it and you catch cramps, I'm sure everybody in this room's got a cramp before, and it's no fun, and you can't control it, and that was tough on him. But playing receiver, it won't be as big a deal if that happens again, which that's the first time I've ever had that happen.
What's the competition like with him and Will at that 3 receiver spot?
We moved John around a little bit. We're just trying to figure out the best position to utilize his speed. He's one of the fastest guys in college football, and just trying to find positions to really utilize his strengths.
As for the scrimmage Monday, how you play, plays you
A lot.
for?
A lot. I'm going to get with the coordinators tomorrow where we're at. But this is going to be a big one. We're going to let everybody get their chance and show what they can do.
Gus, you said in your first meeting with us that Jason Smith could have an impact on special teams.
Mhm.
Does that mean returner, or could you find another spot for him if he doesn't get to one of those
You
return
know,
spots?
I'm hoping we get him on most of our special teams, no matter where it's at. He's just, he's a senior now. He's got some experience, and we need those guys to really step up, and we're challenging him, and so far, he's rising to the occasion.
Anything else?